Let's talk about some of the things that seem to work across the board to improve strength, improve hypertrophy, and improve nerve to muscle communication and performance. The first thing that's absolutely key for nerve to muscle communication and physical performance of any kind might not sound that exciting to you, but it is very exciting, and that's salt. Nerve cells, neurons, communicate with each other and communicate with muscle by electricity. But that electricity is generated by particular ions moving into and out of the neuron. And the rushing in of a particular ion, sodium, salt, is what allows nerve cells to fire. If you don't have enough salt in your system, your neurons and your brain and your nerve to muscle communication will be terrible. If you have sufficient salt, it will be excellent. How much salt will depend on how much water you're drinking, how much caffeine you're drinking, and how much food you're ingesting. And whether or not you're taking any diuretics, how hot it is, etc., how much you're sweating. So you want to make sure that you have enough salt, potassium, and magnesium in your system if you want to perform well. The other thing that's been shown over and over again in numerous well-controlled studies to improve muscle performance is creatine. How much creatine? Well, I asked the experts, and they tell me that for somebody who's about 180 pounds, 5 grams a day should be sufficient or so. Creatine seems to have a performance-enhancing effect. There are 66 studies, showing that power output is greatly increased, anywhere from 12 to 20%. And this is sprinting and running and jumping as well as weightlifting by creatine. The ability to hydrate your body is improved by creatine because of the way that it brings more water into cells of various kinds. It reduces fatigue. When it comes to supporting muscle, it does seem that ingesting 700 to 3,000 milligrams of the essential amino acid leucine with each meal is important. Now, that does not necessarily mean from supplements. In fact, most people recommend that you get your protein, you get your amino acids, including your essential amino acids and your leucine from whole foods. High quality proteins are high density proteins. What do you mean by that? Well, it is true that a lot of sources of protein are found in things like beans and nuts and things like that, that all the essential amino acids can be found there. But per unit calorie, if it's in your practice, and it's in your ethics to ingest animal proteins, it's true that, for instance, 200 calories of steak or chicken or fish or eggs will have a higher density of essential amino acids than the equivalent amount of calories from nuts or plants. So I'm not, for the vegans and vegetarians, I'm certainly not saying there's no way that you can support muscle growth. You absolutely can. I encourage you to think about this protein density issue and whether or not you're getting sufficient essential amino acids, especially leucine. But I think the simple takeaway from the literature that I was able to extract, eating 2 to 4 times a day, making sure you're getting sufficient amino acids in a way that's compatible with your ethics and with your nutritional regimen is going to support muscle repair, muscle growth, strength improvements, etc. just fine.